June is a month dedicated to raising awareness of the plight of the world's thousands of refugees. Many of them live in camps with no means for a normal life and with little hope. Now an effort is underway to help these people who have been displaced by war, natural disaster, or political problems in their homelands start a better life. Here to talk about a movement to unite and support refugees under one flag is Meron Semedar, an ambassador for the Refugee Nation and a refugee himself. Hi Meron, welcome to It's Just Us.
Thank you for having me.
So Meron, I want to start with us just getting everybody up to speed with what's going on. Can you give us the current situation with the Refugee Nation?
Okay, so the Refugee Nation came as a result of trying to symbolize and create a symbol about refugees. If you remember last year, there was Olympics where 10 refugees attended and participated in some of the sports. However, there was no flag, no anthem to represent them. As a result of this, a creative team of talented individuals and refugees got together to represent refugees and to create a representation around what they do at national and international level. And the refugee flag was created from the actual life vest that refugees are wearing as they try to cross perilous seas to reach safety. And today it becomes a symbol to represent refugees around the world, which, as you know, 65 million at the moment. Displaced people, was about 21 to 22 million of them being refugees.
Thank you for sharing that, Meron. So let's hear your personal story and why you got involved with this cause with the Refugee Nation.
So I'm a refugee myself from Eritrea, a small country in East Africa where indefinite national service becomes the reason why we leave the country. In the past 12, 13 years, I moved from country to country in pursuit of safety and better education. And within this period, I experienced firsthand challenges as a refugee myself, and in trying to combat that instead of just waiting from international organizations. I got involved with several organizations that are led by refugees at some point, or international organizations to be able to help refugees. And that is how I get involved with this advocacy, and to date I continue to do the advocacy both at local, national and international level.
So what's being done to address the refugee crisis?
Well, there have been several things that was done. We can start with the international events. There was a refugee and migration summit at the UN level last year, and the year before the European Union along with some African nations came together to Malta to address these issues. But they become more of a talk and little of action. In fact, other organizations, including the Refugee Nation or several other organizations you could mention of the UNHCR, Catholic Charities, IRCs among many, are actively involved in resettlement or humanitarian works. And we should also give credit to countries like Canada and Germany who are being way compassionate and allowing people to resettle in their countries. And the many people who have been compassionate to donate money to help refugees. But beside that, it's a growing number of refugees, it's a growing issue, a growing number in refugee crisis around the world. What has been done does not equate with the number of refugees out there.
Well, you've mentioned the flag several times, Meron, and I understand the importance of having symbols that represent where we come from or things that are very important to us. So share a little bit more about the flag and tell us what it symbolizes.
Okay, so the flag is in orange and black color, and as you can see it's behind me. The original flag was designed out of the actual life vest refugees were wearing as they tried to cross the Mediterranean Sea by a Syrian refugee, and a number of creative, talented individuals, some of them refugees, some of them not, who were very compassionate towards the work of the Refugee Nation. And the Refugee Nation has been standing out to be a symbol to be recognized with this refugee flag at every international level. It has not been officially recognized at several events, but it did recognize last year at an Ottawa summit where world leaders and representative of every nation around the world, young people were present, and it was waved there for the first time. So as we try to create more awareness, we hope that it will garner international attention, including at the UN level.
Wow, Meron, I am getting chills just visualizing what you're sharing. So what can people do to help?
So people can first show compassion towards the refugee. If you've seen the last election in the United States, or even the Brexit in the UK, and other elections that follow up, like in France and Holland, it was entirely anti-refugee message. And that's not the case. Refugees are not terrorists. They're not any sort of negative message that's aligned to them, but they are feeling those kind of situations. They are the victims of those kind of situations. So society to show compassion, people to show compassion. And beyond that, to be able to assist organizations, to donate to organizations. Or in this case, they can buy the flag. It was entirely designed by refugees, and it's made by refugees. And they can buy the flag at the refugenation.org website. In doing so, whatever they donate or whenever they buy the flag, the cause goes towards recognizing refugee and helping refugee and get their cause to be getting more attention at international level.
Great, great. Meron, thank you so much for sharing this information. I can feel the heartbeat of this wonderful people and want to wish you all the best in your endeavors and your work with this organization.
Thank you for having me on your program. Thank you.
Absolutely. Take good care.